episode 106, the Steam Ninja Scrolls, the S rank mission. So, sorry for this review being late, but now that it's summer, I tried to do this review like one other time, like a day or maybe 2 days ago. It was late. And because it's summer now, I can literally do like one video and that's it. And then my camera overheats because apparently it's just super warm. Like it feels exactly the same to me, but the camera thinks it's hot. So it took me a minute to actually like do this review just to start doing it. And then when the first time I tried, it just like, it was like, oh, it's too hot. And it was already late at night. So I was like, okay then. But now that I have the chance to sit down and actually do this review, I want to say I enjoyed this episode. It is actually the first of the newest mini arc, however many episodes it's going to be. When I first looked up the episode to check out the title on Wikipedia, I saw that at least up to episode 110 is going to be like these Steam Ninja Scroll things. And I was like, okay, that's pretty awesome. I love that. I like this first episode. It was pretty simple. We get to see basically a new character. Like we've had nothing on Mirai. I think I mentioned when she was first introduced in the actual series, I was like, oh, I always thought she was a boy. When I saw her in the manga, she like just how she looked, I thought she was a boy. So I was like, okay, twist there for me. And now we actually get to see her character. We get to see her skills. We get to see Guy. We get to see Kakashi. And they're out on this mission, which is supposed to just be a vacation. But I don't know. I feel like she may or may not end up being on to something. It's an anime series, so it'll turn into something serious, even if they were always meant to just be on vacation for 20 days instead of 2, which I thought was a funny mix-up. Because I was like, oh, well, if they're going to be gone for 20 days, then that seems like it would lead into, more episodes, which thankfully it does. Because I think they did a good job with this one. We have like one minute action scene, which is when we have, the people like steal the little wallet from Kakashi, or at least attempt to. And, he grabs the dude because it's, Kakashi's still super freaking amazing, and it's like boom, he grabs him when he bumps into him, and it's like, you shouldn't really do that sort of thing. Guy takes off. Mirai's like, oh man, like he tosses it to the other dude. That guy takes off, so she chases after him, hits him with, if I'm remembering correctly, it was called like the Death Tree Bind or something crazy, and I was like, holy crap, like she's about to murder this dude. But it was just a genjutsu. But when she did it and I read, I was like, Jesus, that's like a real dark technique to bring up. And the dude's like freaking out, and it's looked like the tree's about to like literally squeeze him in the pieces or like stab into his face. And then it was like, oh, it's just a genjutsu, which totally makes sense because of Kurenai. So I thought that was awesome. I was like, cool, we got to see that. So that's kind of where her skill set lies, which is with genjutsu, and she's still learning to use the chakra blade. So I'm very curious how that'll play out, because we've already seen it in 2 different ways, both of which I thought were always awesome. So Asuma did it, and it was kind of simple. He would literally just have chakra shoot further out of the blade so that the blades were longer. If you play the video games, he can literally like shoot like shockwaves, like Sonic Boom from Street Fighter, and he can literally like throw slashes out. So I was like, okay, that would always seem super cool. And then when Shikamaru took over and he had the blade, and they had like, the big fight and everything for revenge, still one of the best fights, and he throws it down, it basically holds the Shadow Possession Jutsu ability within it. And I was like, that's super freaking sweet. So I would love to see what they do with that, and utilizing that mixed with Genjutsu. I don't know if we'll see that. We'd have to, wait till like the very end. But they introduced it early on, and I was like, that's just a cool idea. I would love to see how that would play out. Like, would the person have to be hit by it? Would they just have to be near it? That sort of thing. Like, how exactly does a Genjutsu work? Because the guy wasn't even looking at her when she did it too. Like, she was behind him, she stopped and did the jutsu, and he was still running away and got captured. So I was like, okay, normally people have to kind of look you eye to eye, that sort of thing. So it was really, well, I guess they don't. I guess that was only specifically for like the Tsukiyomi with Itachi. But I was like, okay, that's cool, and I would love to see that, kind of develop as she starts to learn that skill. Maybe Kakashi would end up teaching her. Maybe Guy could actually have something to say about that as well, just through his whole thing where it's all about, believing in yourself and that sort of thing. And then those two ideals mixed together, Kakashi's experience with the Sharingan, and Guy's just like, power of youth sort of deal. And it just blends together, and she ultimately ends up succeeding and, figuring it out when she needs to. But I like that. Kakashi was still Kakashi, but also older. The older elements of him were great. Him being like, after she realizes that the wallet was actually like a dummy wallet, and it's, there's like a note in it and everything. It's like, we don't really have to, fight everybody and go crazy. We're kind of supposed to be really chill right now anyway, because we don't want people to know I'm the former Hokage. But it was still Kakashi. It was normal, calm Kakashi, still super skilled. It was just like, boom, like, hey, don't do that. I like the outfit he had, and it was funny because I was like, I never realized it before, but we've never seen like any of Kakashi's body like at all. Like, it's just been his face. Like, I never realized that his whole body has always been covered. So that made me laugh because they did it with bandages and stuff, and I was like, That's so ridiculous because he'd be a lot warmer if he just wore a normal shirt and it was open instead of doing bandages all the way up his arms. But I thought that was really funny because I was like, I never thought of that before. Like, of course, the whole face thing was a big deal when his face was revealed, but I never thought about the fact that we've never like seen even his arms. So it was funny seeing the bandages, and I was like, I never thought of that before because you normally when he wears, excuse me, his old outfit from this series, you can see his wrist because he wears gloves, so you can see like this much of his arm. And it was just funny because he was technically wearing short sleeves and his whole arm was bandaged, and I was like, that's so ridiculous of them to do that, but it was just funny to me. But I definitely loved it. I realize now officially, like we had him once before where Kakashi was being silly and he was like mimicking, the original Team 7 when they were kids and stuff like that, and he was just funny. And this episode, it was just like, man, old Kakashi or older Kakashi is without a doubt the character I didn't realize I wanted to see, because for some reason I feel like they do his character perfectly. Like it's just funny to watch him because it's like they got that essence of old people. Like a big thing, at least in the States, is old people eventually just stop caring. Like you get old enough, you're like, I've lived life. You can think I'm an idiot. It does not matter. And that's kind of what Kakashi is now. He's still that cool character, but he went on vacation and it was like, I'm gonna geek out over this tree, the hallowed grounds, where they filmed like one scene of the Make Out Paradise films, and that just made me laugh so much. And of course, Guy being his best friend, he's like, he's sharing in his buddy's passion and stuff. So they were just silly, and it was just super funny. So I love the episode for that because older Kakashi is really great. Guy is exactly the same because he's always been crazy, and then now he's got books out and stuff like that. And in the video where it's like 24 hours straight, and I was like, that's so ridiculous. Even Mirai says it's like, that seems impossible. But it was just funny. I was like, this is really well done. I like the way they handled it. I'm very excited to see where this story goes, especially since it's going to be more than just 2 episodes. It's going to go on for a little bit. And I hope we do get to see some cool stuff from Mirai. I hope we get to see Kakashi's Purple Lightning again. If they just get into like, some crazy stuff, he has to whip out, the Purple Lightning again. I don't remember if it has its own thing or if it's just called Purple Lightning. I can't remember anymore. But I would love to see that because I'm like, that was cool when we saw it once. I would like to see it again. I would love to see Guy pull off anything, even though he's got, the leg cast because he messed his leg up. He should have been dead, but hey, he survived. So him being permanently damaged as far as like one leg not working, I think that's okay. So I'd like to see what he can pull off. I'd like to see what he'll do, because they even show him, like he's not sitting in the wheelchair and he was like, walking on his hands and stuff. So I'm like, maybe we'll get to see him do some leg moves, stuff like that. Maybe he can't do that because of the cast. I don't know. His leg's permanently broken, I guess, but it's also permanently in the cast. It kind of doesn't make sense, really. I'm just like, it's kind of just jelly in there. I don't know what the deal is. So I'm like, maybe he can fight with it, maybe he can't. But I'm sure we'll see some cool stuff from that. If not, we'll definitely see some stuff from both Kakashi and Mirai. So looking forward to that without a doubt. Thought this was a really good first episode. It was nice to get introduced to a new character. I'm sure Boruto will show up at some point in there. I'm not super excited for that, admittedly, because I'm like, I just don't care that much. But Kiba's going to be in the next episode. Apparently, he's going to be fighting with his girlfriend. It's cats versus dogs. I don't think the next episode is going to be that big of a deal, but hopefully, a little bit after that, we'll get to see some decent stuff, considering they're going at least up to episode 110, with this sort of mini arc. So hopefully, we'll get some more intense stuff. I don't think the next episode is going to be that one, unfortunately, but it seems like that's where we might be headed. You get all these episodes, you got to throw some epic action in there. We'll see Mirai grow as a character and as a ninja throughout these episodes as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. Like, it's focused on a different character, and that's just always good. I mean, it could be focused on Boruto, but admittedly, the fillers have not been that fun. Like, the only stuff that's been fun, admittedly, probably all the stuff that Kishimoto did before the series was made, when he did those one-shot manga stories, and like the stuff with Sada where it barely, Boruto wasn't even in it. That just happened to be good because Masashi Kishimoto wrote all of that anyways, not because Boruto wasn't there. But it was like, that was great. And all this, the Boruto movie stuff, it was good. They just expanded it so it was, a bit less entertaining because it was a bunch of other extra stuff going into it. But it was still entertaining, and it was like, technically that's just the stuff Masashi Kishimoto wrote. So anything that's new, it's been like, cool moments, but drawn out stuff, like the Stone Village arc, all that stuff. It was just felt so drawn out, and it was like, okay, it was cool at the end. Had some good stuff for Mitsuki, which they just recapped. So it was like, definitely great stuff within some of the things they do. Even that last mini arc with the curse marks, great stuff is in there. And it's like they either don't go as far as they should, or at some pointless thing where they take it super far, and it's like, man, that didn't need to go that long because it wasn't as entertaining anyway. So like the stuff I wanted to go super far, like Curse Marks coming back, super short, and then the Stone Village stuff was just like 18 years long, it felt, and it was just like, it was okay. And it was really good once they finally got to the village, and I mentioned that before. It was like, once they actually got there, I was like, then now it seems like something's actually happening. But either way, we're in this mini arc. We get to have some, a new character, older versions of old characters. So I'm looking forward to some cool action, some new ideas, and more genjutsu. I wouldn't hate. We get to see Sadara use the lower versions of the Sharingan again, where it's just simple. Like they're gonna move this way so I can dodge faster. I love seeing that because it's simple, and that was thrown out the window real fast in the original series because it went from like, oh, I can kind of move a little faster to I'm gonna burn you infinitely and send you to other dimensions. So I like it. Simple is good. Genjutsu's coming back as a main focus for a character I also think is good. So I'm looking forward to that with Mirai. Anything Kakashi does is awesome. So Kakashi. But would love to know what you guys thought about this episode. So please put your comments down in the comment section below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And of course, I would love to know what you guys want to see from this mini arc. We got a new character in Mirai. What do you want to see from her? What stuff do you guys want to see from Kakashi as well as Guy? What characters do you guys want to see pop up? Since they're showing Kiba, they're probably going to have one character per episode. Kind of like when they did the festival, the kids festival thing. And they have like, the side characters, specific side characters showed up in each episode. So I feel like they might do that maybe halfway until they eventually get like really far out, and then no one from the village will be there. But we'd love to know what you guys want to see, and like I said, definitely want to know what you guys thought about this episode in general. So please put your comments down in the comment section below, and of course, thanks for watching.